Okay.
So before we start, I want to let the commission know that this is Heather's last meeting.
No.
Oh,
After almost 20 years, she has accepted a position with the state.
Okay.
Good girl.
Okay, I'm
congrats.
fine with that. If
It is-
you would have said Manchester or something, we'd have a problem.
Like,
No, she
you'll
has a
love the
fantastic
benefit.
opportunity and
What agency?
she couldn't
Congratulations.
pass it up.
What
What
agency?
agency was it?
DDS.
Yep.
Department of Developmental Services.
Oh, very good.
Congratulations.
Great situation.
Oh, thank you.
Very sad, but
In
very
my
happy.
town,
That saves the budget some money, because we
Okay.
can hire an entry-level person. which
Oh,
is
okay.
Boom.
Harvard,
Be over there
yeah.
with,
It's already savings.
Solved.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
Solved,
Right,
yeah.
it's Hartford.
Yeah,
Lower
Tyron's
rates
attorney
next
brother
year
and
now.
I know the mayor. That's
Don't say that too
awesome.
loudly.
Yeah. Very exciting.
State's better than federal, I'll tell you that,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to healthcare.
yeah.
And then when you come retirement, you only get a 30 of social security.
Was that? Yeah, you did say that.
That's exactly right. And I work
Yes.
part-time, I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Sure, I have
Did
no
that for
problem
the
with that.
minutes. That was
Yeah.
awesome. I loved it.
Mike's got it on.
With my,
So
I used to belong to health plan.
who's taking over?
Yeah,
30.
oh, that.
No.
Co-chair.
right.
We get to hire an entry-level person, look at the money we save.
Look at the money you say.
No,
Yeah,
we.
you mentioned,
We.
you know,
Yeah, we can say you did that. You say, we raised sewage rates, but we
I kept my rental.
I'm
We're
against
hiring an
it.
intern.
I'm against raising rates.
I know you are. You're against raising everything.
21 years now.
And then I get.
Since I've known you, name one thing that you thought we needed to raise.
That's good.
Because a lot of people don't realize.
Exactly, since I've known you,
Have a gap.
like, out.
Oh, yeah.
You get a big
We met
operation.
once, and then you ducked my calls.
That's a lie.
Have you returned any of my texts?
No, I have not.
We agree, we liked each other, we're gonna get
The
together
money is
again, we never
recorded,
did.
but not the
We
actual
did, and then,
We'll get you the audio file.
some stuff
We can go.
happened, family related.
So
That had
why
nothing to
Should
do
I
with
still
you.
just press
Life
the bottom
happens.
one?
I never,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
this,
He can get the audio
Yeah.
from the.
It's busy.
Oh, he could.
Since my wife died,
We'll get it to you
I have no
tomorrow.
time, if you wanna talk or do anything with me, it's gotta be sometime on Saturday, and good luck finding the
That's
time.
what it was.
Before-
That's,
No, she just died in January.
no, but that's, remember?
Alright, we ready to go?
Yep.
Alright, I'm opening the public hearing of the South Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority at 7:03 PM on May 2nd, 2023. I was gonna ask Toby if he could read the legal notice.
Town of South Windsor legal notice, proposed budget and sewer rate schedule for year 2023/2024. Pursuant to the chapters 103 sections 7-245 through 7-255 of the Connecticut General Statutes, notice is hereby given that the South Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023 at 7 PM in the Madden Room of Town Hall to present proposed water pollution control budget and to establish proposed sewer user rates, surcharges, sewer assessments, schedules, septic disposal fees, and sewer user charge discount rates for qualified income residents for the period of July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. This information is available April 11th, 2023 for review in the town clerk's office, the town hall, 1540 Sullivan Avenue, South Windsor, Connecticut. You may also view this information online at southwindsorconnecticut.gov. Homepages, legal notices. Any appeals from such charges must be taken within 20 days after such filing. Sincerely, Stephen Wagner, Chairman, Water Pollution Control Authority.
Thank you.
Where is it?
Yeah, he couldn't make it tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, listen, Another more important meeting, planning is on.
So then I was gonna ask Tony if you could present the budget and fee schedule that we've also got in our packet here.
Sure, this year's budget for the operations side is $4,770,786. Debt service is $322,287. The capital improvement projects budget is $1,145,000, and the WPCA operating budget is $3,200. Total expenditures are $6,241,273. And the user charge is proposed user charge is $460, with a 74,000 gallon minimum. And the rest of the fees are on the sheet that's provided, and we do have copies. We don't have any public here tonight, but there are copies for the public if they do attend.
So do we have to wait a certain amount of time, or?
Usually wait a couple minutes, see if anyone shows
Check the
up, and
hall.
then we can close it, probably in like 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we can't look for public input, but it's 7:06 now, 7:07, so.
Okay. Okay, do we have anyone here from the public? Anyone here from the public?
Going once, going twice.
Anyone here from the public? All right, so it looks like there is no one here from the public to comment. All right, so I was just gonna get a consensus from everyone to close the public hearing. Now, do we have to?
Aye.
Second it, yeah.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, so the public hearing is closed at approximately 7:07 PM, and we will proceed with the regular meeting. All right, so, Heather, are we all set with the roll call?
Yes.
All right. So want to bring up the acceptance of the previous.
I'd like to make a
meeting.
motion to accept the minutes that were read in.
Toby,
Anyone gonna second
motion.
it?
Anyone to second it?
I said I made a motion to accept the minutes.
Right, I wasn't here for the last
Okay.
meeting, so I'm not gonna second it.
All right, we have Bala to second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll stay.
Sorry. That's it. All right. So new business, POCD survey response.
Yes, the town is in the beginning stages of the plan of conservation and development. A couple of these, sorry. So, what the company is doing, they're surveying the residents, town departments, and commissions. They're looking at sustainability, resiliency, conservation, development, infrastructure, and planning goals, and they're gonna develop a plan to help the town meet its objectives. So they've already surveyed residents, they've surveyed some of the departments, and now it's going to the boards and commissions. That's for you. So this was sent to the chairman,
One left over, Toby.
and together Steve and I had worked on filling this out. But we wanted to bring it to, thank you, we wanted to bring it to the authority to review, provide some feedback and comment. In particular, there's more questions, number 1 and number 2, that we were looking at. And question 1 was, from your perspective, meaning the authority's perspective, what are South Windsor's greatest strengths and attributes? Have these changed in the last decade? If so, what's the difference today? And what we came up with, so I think the intent for tonight was open discussion, and then we could probably table it and receive some comments so everybody has an opportunity to digest, and then we can probably bring it to the next meeting just for review. But so from the WPCA's perspective, what's South Windsor's greatest strengths? Came up with competent professional operations staff, robust and diverse commercial, industrial, and sewer users. WPCA invests in the operation and maintenance of the treatment plant. WPCA invests in the capital improvement projects to provide reliable sewer service to customers. WPCA maintains a 10-year capital improvement plan. The changes in the last 10 years, there is more focus on pipe inspection, cleaning, and rehabilitation, and investing more money to improve sewer pipe conditions.
Is that supposed to be investing or inventing?
Yes, I did notice that and I changed it on the fly.
I like that, though. I like the thinking.
I was hoping everyone else was just skimming. So we can, I guess if there's anything that the authority would like to add, we could take notes on that at this time and then move on to
So
number.
this company is doing this, how much is this survey costing?
I'm not sure. This was driven by planning and zoning, and I believe they do it every 10 years.
Right, okay, it's part of that one, I've seen that one, okay.
Yeah, so this is a townwide survey to get different perspectives and.
We got this-
I think this went out
we got
to
this
residents
we got
too,
this
didn't
meeting.
it?
Yes,
Yeah, this went out to residents as
Yes.
well.
yep. So this is the early phases.
Yeah.
This is just surveying every portion of town, the different commissions, the residents, staff, and just trying to find ways to meet our objectives and find where the town wants to go and
Yeah.
by different pitfalls, so.
Is that mandated by the state?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a state mandate or not, but I think the last one was 2013.
So you're saying these bullets are the results of answers of the,
This is what we had come up with. We wanted to run it by, we being Steve and myself, but we wanted to run it by the authority and get feedback on these.
From my perspective, one thing that comes to mind is making sure that the sewer fees are affordable for the residents. Yeah, I like that idea of being able to kind of nick this over and
Yeah,
discuss it next.
yeah, so,
I'm probably the only person in the town that would have this thought, so pardon me for sharing out loud with you guys, but, and I think I'm thrilled that Steve has the time to invest so much time into doing this, and thank goodness that he does, cause I know that I can't. But in my mind's eye, the idea of the commission is to be an objective overseer of what you guys do and give different points of views. And I feel like Steve's like an employee, and he's too entrenched to have that objectivity. So that kind of, I have a disconnect there. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm not trying to badmouth anyone like that. I'm just saying from the purpose of why we exist is to grant objectivity to people who are in the mud and the mire and the sticks. And so we bring a different viewpoint. We of course represent the citizens of the town and try and provide to the best of our ability some sort of oversight. A lot of us are learning as we go and doing things. I'm just, seeing Steve's email address on here and all the communication. It's just, am I out left field? Am I wrong? I just don't think that someone on the commission should be that
Well,
entrenched in the operations of it.
it's like the town council, they're supposed to be policy, and the town manager, he runs the town. No different here. We're policy, and he runs the station.
Right.
yeah,
And
so,
there, and through time, different people get more involved.
I
You
do
go
think,
through the history of this town and town council, some people are,
So
They're on it.
you're making my point for me.
well, but it's true.
So-
Some are into it, some aren't. I don't know who was the previous chairman, but I don't know how
The previous
much.
chairman got fired
Oh.
by his own party.
Oh, ouch,
But hey, there's ways to go.
ouch.
That's gratitude.
but
So,
Well, I think
these
that's
went to
one-
the chairman of each, or chairpeople
but
of each. commission.
I'm not trying to criticize or point a finger of blame. It's just something that, Steve spends a lot of time working with you on things. You guys more like partners than that loses objectivity. And so, Cause he's full on board, well, I don't know, if I'm the only one that has this thought or concern, then I'll be quiet.
I think that's why it's coming up before the full authority, so that we could kind of take a look at what was put together by, you know, by Steve and and just kind of get another set of eyes and kind of give that outside perspective. I mean,
It's
you
great
know, it's your point.
information.
I mean, someone's gotta do the initial grunt work, you know,
Sure,
and
Like I said,
I mean, I get what you're
appreciate,
saying,
I
I get
appreciate
what
the
you're
time he
saying.
has.
Yeah, I get what
I
you're
think he
saying,
acts like
but
the mayor,
I think
it's like
that's
the
why we
mayor
have the
and
opportunity.
the town council, the same thing.
But
The
the
mayor's
town-
close with the town
but-
manager,
Now, if this was put together and then just sent out and not
yeah,
brought before us, then that's a different story. Then it's like, well,
right.
you know, there's a.
Like, can we
Yeah, this hasn't been submitted yet.
Right,
This is
right.
what
I
was
just started the
drafted.
ball, no one was saying anything, so I brought that up because that was on my mind.
can you
No, I
give
think it's
more
good
background
to-
information, like where this is coming from and last year who filled it in? Is it different this
Wasn't done
time?
last year.
Yeah, so this was done 10 years ago. I believe the last one was 2013. So this is my first one that I'm participating in. But yeah, so I did receive one as a department head or a division head for our division of Public Works. Planning and zoning received one, WPCA, I believe Parks and Rec, I would imagine they've received one at some point.
EDC.
Cause it says,
Yeah.
returned by February 10th, 2022.
Yeah, I did make a note of that. This was what was sent to us. I did make a note of that just to make Steve aware that the date was off. But I think that was just carried over from when the original, when the study kicked off. But now they're working their way into the commissions, cause they already did the residents, surveyed the residents of the town, they surveyed the staff of the town, and now they're moving on to boards and commissions.
So this is after 10 years you're doing that.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, every 10 years, they do that, that's my understanding. So yeah, so this is being presented to the authority, as a draft. I'm trying to get some input, see if there's agreement, disagreement, other thoughts. If you wanna add some perspective to it, it's an open discussion.
So are we saying 10 years ago we didn't have competent professional operations staff?
No,
Or we have more now, we have more certified, I mean, if you're gonna promote it, give some, said 10 years ago, we only had 2 engineers, today we have 4, and you know, so quantify the statement. Does that make sense? You know, cause the question is what's changed in the last decade? And if so, what's different today than was before? So you would venture to say what that's saying is we have a more competent, better trained staff than there was here 10 years ago. If that's true, then that's gonna say to citizens, well, that's a good thing. If that's not true, then why are we saying it?
well, they were asking for the strengths, so that's what the first
Yeah, it's like
2,
one of
3,
our
4,
strengths.
5 parts were, and then changes in the last 10 years would be the 2 bullet points under that.
But that might be a good idea, though. I don't know if it'd be too wordy. Would it be too much to quantify it out, or is that getting beyond the scope of this?
We can certainly expand on
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we don't have to
The-
make any
the
decisions. now, but,
survey
you know, maybe that's
that
something
I
we do.
provided was
Yeah.
more of a bullet point.
Yeah,
They're just kind of looking at
right,
what the staff felt
right.
was the strengths of our department. This is what the WPCA feels the strength of
Right, okay.
the authority and
Yeah.
their oversight. So if you want,
No,
Yeah, I
it's-
mean, I'm just not sure how detailed it's supposed to be, that's all. Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off here, I'm fine either way, I just didn't know if that might be an idea. That could just be something you think about too, I mean, this, like you said, this is a lot to digest, we're gonna have to.
Do you guys, through you, Mr. Chair, do you have this in an electronic version?
I have it in Word.
So the only reason I bring that up is so every commission and every committee is doing one of these. Town council doing it, strategic planning, we did one. However, the difference is that when we sent ours out to all of our planning, strategic planning, we sent it out saying, okay, everybody give your input electronically. So then that way, we what's the word I'm looking for? We collated what everybody said, and then we presented it to each other because we didn't send it back. I don't want to say. It wasn't a reply all. So then it was collated, and then it was brought to the whole strategic planning committee. Just like with the whole town council. We had the same similar thing. We all just gave our ideas. Nobody saw anything until it came together, and they were like, oh, okay. So we have some similar answers. And I think that's, to Toby's point, I think that is, because right now, it just looks like Steve filled this out for everybody. The way this reads. It just, you know.
Right,
when it's
because
still-
yeah, I think there's things on here that I probably wouldn't have put, and maybe there's other things like the development of the town and how many more residential units are on here. You know, I see this about climate change, but, you know, is that true, the unusual periods of precipitation?
It has been every year since creation, you know, there's,
Right, so my
Climate's
point
always
is,
changing,
if you
right?
guys just send this out electronically to the commission, then everybody just gives their input back to you, or whoever collates it, and then you bring it to everybody and say, hey, guys, out of the 10 of you, this is what the responses were.
no, this is,
Or else you guys would be here all night.
yeah, but this is the, go ahead, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
On EDC, we got the same thing, and we're supposed to respond electronically, Bill collated it.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
I-
Instead of beating it to death every line here,
Right.
if you have a response, send it in.
right.
Somebody,
'cause-
I don't know who's gonna collate it, that's always, you know, it's like who
Is-
counts the votes type thing, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, because to Toby's point, we weren't given an opportunity to come up with anything. It's just Steven. So I think if we had that electronic version, we could put in our thoughts, ideas, collate
We were
it, we
told,
discuss
Joe and I were in the
it.
same commission on EDC, we were told the same thing. Got this, you know, not as wordy as this, you know, there's 5 bullet points, 5 things, the same ones here, I guess, you know. But just 5 on half the page. If you respond, you respond, if you don't, you don't, you know.
Okay.
And Joe, since I'm off the grid, I do everything through the mail, not because I was a mailman for 38 years, but
That's not the truth.
Well, for me,
Joe Carino never used a computer.
for me, this is my time. Life is real busy. I don't spend time at home on town business too much time because I've already got other commissions, other commitments, other things that are, and that's not gonna, I mean, that's why their staff, that's good, it's good. So when I have input here, I'm just trying to throw out things that might spur on different thoughts and ideas so we get some synergy going. I'm not always against things as I may express myself. Although, as Steve mentioned before, I kind of am. I don't think price increase. I don't think the whole world is going to fall apart with climate change. I think that's more political than reality. But climate change is a factor, and I am an ecologist, where I believe we need to take care of our environment. That being said, I was just trying to create stuff here. 7:24. I'm still biting at my 7:03.
I have next one.
Yeah, we had an extra one, Steve.
Yeah, so we're discussing the POCD survey response.
No, recommendation's been that we should go read it and think about it and come back. That's what was suggested.
I'm not sure whether there's a deadline here.
Next meeting, I'm on EDC, and we have a next meeting, email it in. They'll
yeah,
compile
there
it.
is a deadline.
Yeah, I think our next meeting.
there was some discussion about sending this electronically. I think other boards had done that. Sent it out electronically, and then it came back, and then all the information was compiled and then distributed to the meeting, discussed, and I don't know if it was officially approved or just agreed upon. So if that's the way we wanna go, I can distribute that, compile.
If I can make a point, I don't know if this is the right point of order, but can he now cede the chair back to the chair? And do we now no longer need the alternate to be sitting in?
Probably should unseat the alternate, but he can continue to chair the meeting if he
Okay.
is willing, at least this item.
I just thought, I don't know.
I haven't been hearing your discussion, and I really think you should continue to.
Yeah, that's the way it should be done.
Okay.
I'm an Irish and I'm used to getting kicked.
Delete that.
All right, so yeah, we were kind of, any other, I know, Bala, any other thoughts with the survey or?
I think I agree with that, we can review and
Okay, David, we.
Yeah,
so-
that's
okay.
a good idea.
One thing you should know is, despite all the detail, and then you can thank Tony for most of that, this is gonna end up being like 2 pages in the POCD, so the consultant's gonna look at this and digest it down to what he thinks are the most important things, and then we'll see that, get a chance to comment on it, so, embellishing this a lot more, I mean, if you have definitely something we ought to put on, that's great, but again, this is just input to the team, that they will use to, you know, what are some of the key issues with, the sewer system, and what are we doing about it? I think one of the important things is they're getting into what's called sustainability now, which was not really a theme in the POCD before. It covers many, many things because of the Sustainable Connecticut program, which some of you may have helped with. But one of the sustainable things is like, what's this climate change gonna do to us, and what's it gonna do to the sewer plant? And then just maintaining this aging facility, which I think our town staff has been doing a great job. And we just need to emphasize how important it is. Sorry.
No, I think that's a good course of action. Appreciate the context. So I guess, yeah, if we can get a copy of this and get an opportunity to react or other things we wanna add or change and discuss at next meeting. All right, so then moving on to the superintendent's report.
Dan Kruger is one of our newest operators. He was hired last September. He didn't have any wastewater experience. I just wanted to let the authority know that he just passed his Class 1 exam in April. He'll become so he's right now considered an operator in training through DEP. And after completing a year of work experience, he'll be a fully licensed operator 1. He was hired based on his diverse background. He did a lot of work with antique steam cars, and then he also has some carpentry work experience. So he's been a really good asset for us. We're really happy that he's passed his Class 1, and he's already talking about taking his Class 2. Odor control improvements. The pure air carbon system was installed, and it's online and treating air from the gravity thickeners. We've consistently been getting 0 parts per million of H2S readings, exhausting from the units. The carbon system for the sludge storage tank was put on order. It has a 20-week lead time, but we did speak to the contractor, and they've been seeing quicker turnarounds than that, so we're hoping to get that in sooner, but we're still planning on that 20-week lead time, and we're also making preparations for the units.
Excuse me, before that comes in, there's still improvements, right? So the quality has already been improved.
Yes, so we have units on the gravity thickeners. We're adding a food grade enzyme into the airstream of
So
the
it'll
sludge
be,
storage
so
tanks.
this coming up, 20 weeks, we'll get through summer, but we'll get some good testing during the summer to see if the complaints, so we'll see if there's, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah, yep.
Right? I mean, because if it's improved some, just wait until you see when we get it finished. That's a good, sorry to interrupt.
Yep. The treatment plant update, March flows were a little above the 12-month rolling average for the treatment plant. Overall treatment for the BLD and DSS exceeded 99%. Semi-annual maintenance was completed on the anoxic mixers. Electrical work and tank inspection completed on clarifier 2. New probes were installed to monitor effluent ammonia and nitrate levels. Began preparing for disinfection season, which runs May 1st through September 30th. The staff repaired and maintained various valves around the facility. The collection systems, we exercised the bypass valves at the pump stations. Annual maintenance was completed on the submersible pumps at the submersible pump stations, and we continued on with the closed CCTV and line cleaning, so the sewer line inspections. For call-outs, we had 1 call-out at the treatment plant, 0 for pump stations, 0 blockages, 0 call before you digs, and 2 odor complaints. I do apologize, I didn't have the graph completed for the March call-outs, but I did have that information for tonight, so that's what I was citing.
Is this an improvement? How's this going with typical call-outs?
It's been,
One for alarms.
Huh?
It was very good,
Okay,
very good compared to most months, yeah.
good, excellent, thank you.
The
Yep.
odor complaint was from the same Main Street area.
yeah, I guess since we're talking about it, we did have some complaints from Thursday through the weekend, and then we received another one today. So we've been monitoring that. We've been getting 0 parts per million around the facility. We've had staff canvassing the neighborhood, trying to pick up some odors. We've been talking with neighbors, people walking by the facility, just trying to find a location, see if anybody else is smelling these odors. So we are working on that, so the odor count for complaints will be up for next month, I guess we're in May, but I guess April, the odor complaint count's gonna be up.
They'll be cooking outside now.
For our capital improvement projects, the pump station upgrades, we're waiting to complete the Pleasant Valley pump station design, which I'm hoping will be done in short order. The aeration weir gate project, we're replacing 4 gates at the end of the aeration tanks. That went out to bid. We held a pre-construction meeting with Nickerson. That was done in April. The notice to proceed was issued for May 1st. We're excited to get that project underway. It's gonna be a big process control project for us. ARPA projects, phase 4, we're holding retainage for a year. The UV disinfection is under design. Final design is being completed, and it's gonna be provided to the staff for review and comment, and we're expecting to bid it in early May. And Clark Street bypass project, that was completed as well. We're still holding retainage on that project. The collective revenue report through March, the commercial grand list 22, we have a 99.84% collection rate, which I believe payment was received. So that should be 100% for next month. And the residential grand list 23 collection rate was 96.98%. And total delinquent balance is $207,634. That completes my report. I can take any comments or questions.
Tony, on the delinquencies, who handles it, the sheriff or a private firm?
So it's, the collector of revenue is the first line of defense. If we don't have, the delinquencies then go to the constables. They have 60 days to collect or get a payment plan going, and then they go to the state marshal for collection.
Don't we put a lien?
There is a lien on the property, and the collector of revenue has been holding tax sales, which have helped drive our delinquent balance down.
Lean works the best.
200,000 would help a lot on some things, right?
Lean's work good.
So you've been reporting like zero hydrogen sulfide at the gravity thickener.
Mhm.
There are other molecules that create odor. You stand next to the outlet of that thing, do you smell anything?
You could put your face right
I've-
right in front of it, there's nothing.
Uh-huh.
No chemical smell, no H2S, it's just,
Fantastic.
And I can open up invitation to the authority if anybody wants to come down, see what the units look like, walk around, smell the area, check some equipment out, look at electronics, whatever you wanna look at. I'm happy to set that up. We can do weekends, during the week, evenings. I just need advance notice, but, got some kids to run around, but, certainly just wanna open that up if anyone's interested in that.
we've also seen that the nanozyme, that food grade enzyme Tony was talking about, we bumped up that concentration a bit this past month. And we've experienced a noticeable drop in H2S and other areas, other sample points of the system as it heads out to the biofilter. And what Tony was pointing out, you know, we did get some complaints over this past weekend, but the numbers we were getting Saturday, Sunday, we had some, I think, odors Saturday morning. I think the sludge storage hit at like a 13 or something like that. But other than that, the whole rest of the weekend, we were at zeros everywhere. So, which is not to say that there's not smells being smelled, but at least we can say with that data that there's been an improvement as far as the H2S is concerned.
Are you subject to OSHA inspections?
Yes.
So I mean, that's to me the biggest one.
Yeah, so we're
in
actually,
consultation right now.
yeah, we're in a consultation. There's gaps. There's only really one person that's been handling that, so there's, you know, a couple months gaps in between. But I know Jeff's been working very closely with them and updating a lot of our SOPs and confined space SOPs and that sort of stuff. But yes, we are working with OSHA currently. We're in our consultation. They're assisting us with our standard operating procedures.
That's the biggest, believe me. They can be a real pain in the, you know what. I'm gonna tell you, but I tell you, but
So with the consultation, if they find something that's out of compliance, we don't get cited for it, but they tell us that we need to fix it, and we have give them a certain amount of time to fix it, and then we can get cited, but that's the point of the consultation, is to invite them in,
Yep.
show us what's wrong, and then we can get that.
smooth, good
Aggressive.
move.
This gate improvements project, how long it's supposed to go on?
That should be about 8 weeks, that's what they're thinking and planning for. So we're just waiting for material at this point. So yeah.
Go into the winter, right?
Yes, yes. We're hoping to get it done by fall, I think.
The lead times were actually pretty good. We were anticipating like 6 months, but they found a manufacturer that was local that was gonna fabricate them significantly quicker than that. So the lead time looks like 3 months now instead of 6 months.
Is that it for comments? All right, did we have any bill change orders or disbursements?
No.
All right, moving on to unfinished business, the 2023-24 budget sewer user fee schedule, discussion, so I know we,
Did we do public participation?
oh yeah, any comments from the,
Any public participation items on the agenda?
I have to skate out and get my daughter.
Yes, I actually, I have a couple.
Oh.
Sorry. Well, while Jeff's here, before he tries to leave,
You're gonna embarrass me.
I reported Jeff was in TPO magazine. It's a trade magazine. So I did order some extra copies. It has the article that features Jeff and the treatment plant, and Jeff's award.
you.
So this is pretty cool.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go.
Like, good job.
One quick embarrassment. Now you can leave.
Thanks
Well,
so much.
Nice
I'll have you
picture.
sign my copy.
Thank you.
have you sign my
He looks
copy.
better in the picture than he does in person.
Significantly. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
And then the other announcement, I spoke to some of you, but those who were late, this is Heather's last meeting with the authority. Sad to say, she's accepted a job with, the state and what,
DDS.
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 So, her last day is gonna be May 18th. She's gonna be missed.
Thank you.
I'm still trying to accept this, but yeah,
It's not
really
done
happy
until
for
it's
her.
not done until it's done.
I know,
I know, right?
But no, it's a great opportunity for her. Heather's been here almost 20 years. Yeah, she really showed me the ropes and appreciate
Just like
everything
in
that
all
she
these
does.
pictures, just in all the pictures.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic opportunity for her. So really proud and excited for her
Thank you.
and nervous for myself. So.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call Ash up and tell him you finally got that raise. He's been
I know,
trying to
right?
get.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah, great, no, thanks for this. Alright, so yeah, I guess now back to the 2023-24 budget sewer user fee schedule. Maybe just wanna go over it in the.
Can I bring up, I was here at the last meeting, you had me as absent.
No, that was just for the special session.
It might have
I was
just
here.
been
I'm
for
quote- I'm
the,
quoted here, Mr. Murray
Oh,
responded.
okay.
was that
May I
just for
take it to
the,
unnumbered, may I take you to unnumbered line? Last page, this is Mr. Murray responded that they need trained staff.
You weren't here?
I know,
was here.
I know there was two,
Was there 2 meetings?
cause there was like the tour, cause I noticed my name wasn't on that, but
I was
I didn't
absent
go
on
to
that
the
one, yeah.
tour, but then I went to
So
the
I need to
meeting.
look at
Yeah.
the roll call?
No, Linda, you quoted, I'm in here.
That's right, we did the tour.
No, you're here as
So
president.
there's,
You're
yeah,
here as
there's
president.
two separate,
Toby, Michael, James.
Oh, I got the one here, it's the fourth.
Yeah,
then
the
look at the
special
second
meeting.
page.
That's the special meeting. Now go to the next page and you're present.
Yeah, the tour was the special meeting, so there's 2 roll calls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought the same thing.
Me too. In fact, I circled
I
it,
am-
but then I realized.
Flip a page,
Two meetings same day?
Yeah, they did a tour.
We
They
did a
call them-
special meeting and the regular meeting.
the tour was a special meeting,
Oh, okay.
because we might have had a quorum, in fact, we did, right?
Yeah. Okay, all right.
I thought the special meeting, I brought my fishing rod with me. I was a little out of line.
All right.
Mr. Chair.
Keep it rolling, Joe.
Alright. So I know Tony did go over for the public hearing, the proposed budget, user fees, so now opening it up for discussion. So now maybe Toby, did any,
Everyone knows what I'm gonna say, so I don't need to spend time. You know, I don't think we should be raising rates as high, and if we need to, if we got to, then minimal. But I think up to 470 is I mean, we're getting hit everywhere, and
Steve, any?
I talked to Senator Anwar. He thinks we may know something before we have to vote on this. My guess is we probably won't. So we'll be in a position of having to vote on this, assuming that we're funding the odor control work that I think is critical. So I thought we were at 460 when we discussed it.
This is 460, last meeting was 470, we reduced it.
So we have one opportunity, I mean, if that odor control grant comes through, it'll actually allow us to make a significant dent in that number.
Joe, any comments?
Can I comment that I'm an alternate?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Just can't vote.
when we were talking about it before, and Tony, a lot of times you have, you're gonna be doing the underground pipes. You're gonna have, people that are being promoted, like you just said, that one gentleman, once they get to testing. So you should always have the money in the bank so the people get their raises. Like I said before, if you want good people, you gotta pay them. So, but if you guys come with a consensus other than that, I thought we voted last meeting
Yeah.
on the 460. And, so you're talking at, what's it, a $30 increase?
35.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at my taxes, I'm looking at $1,200, so $30. And this is vital. That's why Tony's smart to be checking the pipes and stuff like that. You have one big accident, and then you're talking $1 million, like on Main Street, you're talking $1 million event. So preventative maintenance, it's like you go to the doctor twice a year. So that's where I stand, but for the, 460 for the employees and for preventative, maintenance on the sewer lines. That's it.
All right, Jim?
How much do we pay Vernon? Steve had told us, what do we pay Vernon? They charge us for part of town that's not covered by us?
I think off the top of my, it's over 500. I
Okay,
think it's about 550.
460 sounds good. Because we're paying it to another town for residents here. Do I understand that right?
Yeah,
Correct?
Yeah, we have 480 homes that go to Vernon.
Oh, okay.
And we collect for some stuff that comes over from, Manchester.
Correct.
David, any comment?
No.
Paula?
I think just one thing, this WPCA budget,
Mhm.
this 400, what did we give up on that? That's a
Which one?
400 reduction, right?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
The WPCA budget.
Yep.
We have 400 reduction from 24.
Never broken down like A, B, C, and D. What did we do?
Oh, the 3,400? Is that what you're looking at? That's an actual cost, so that was the actual cost from the 21-22 budget. And then last year, or I guess in this current year, we adopted a $3,000 line item for the contractual services. And we're proposing not to increase it, proposing to keep it at 3,000 for this year. So yeah, that was, an actual cost for that year.
So that's for like the advertising line item?
It's
that- that's for
advertising,
saying
Legal notices.
the signs,
Public
or
hearing,
the
oh, okay.
nameplates, yeah,
Legal
notices, legal notices, those are,
Tickets to the basketball game.
So let's say,
Not that.
I have a question, let's say we get, Saud comes through and the Senate comes through and the state comes through and we get granted some money. What happens to the 460 rate? Nothing, it's gonna stay 460, when do we just have more money?
It depends on whether we've already voted it in. I mean, once we voted in, a whole bunch of stuff starts to happen. I don't think we can back off from that. I mean, might have a week or something, but.
Could always pay down debt. Could always pay down debt, but that's, governments don't do that.
But we can
Paying down, that's a good idea, Jim.
not spend our money on the odor control projects, which then frees up that money for other capital improvements. I mean, the grant would have to be spent on odor control. But we're already planning to spend money on odor control, which we wouldn't be spending now. So, we would spend the grant money for that, and then that would free up money in the budget, to either, not raise the rate if it happens soon enough, or, maybe a year from now, we reduce the rates.
Yeah,
Picture
additional,
that, that's not gonna happen. Well, I'm a realist.
additional revenues go into the reserves, and then those reserves can be used to apply
I mean,
against.
just so, is it within our realm to be able to do, so, and again, I'm just thinking out loud.
Mhm.
But we, let's say we approve 460.
Mhm.
And then we get this monies we didn't expect on, but we get it.
Mhm.
So can we set up a future trust to go against user rates for next year? With with a portion of the extra money that we don't spend?
Yes, believe me, that's
Well, that already exists.
Is
with
that
the-
too complicated?
town attorney, the whole nine, are you kidding me?
That's the capital reserve is used to apply against sewer user rates for sharp increases.
You have a rainy day fund?
Have we ever used it
Yeah, but
for that?
It's just now fully funded, so if we
Well,
get
you're-
additional
you're right.
funds,
Yeah.
so if we do get this grant and the 460 gets approved, next year we can look at, if we're looking at another increase, and that's why I was showing,
Of course, you
Through- well, that's why I was showing through, our projected capital improvements. The rate is projected to increase over the years.
Mhm.
So if we have excess monies, that can be applied against the sewer user rate. But
Thank
it
you.
is important to know that the replacement reserve is also underfunded. We're only at 30% or so.
Okay.
So this is just a discussion, right?
So if the saving is the odor control money, then maybe we could go down to 450.
Yeah, but it is important to look at future years and also look at the replacement reserve too. Because, like Joe said,
Something breaks.
it's one sewer collapse is $1 million. And we have about 1.6 million in there right now. So one sewer collapse, we might have $500,000 left. So additional revenue isn't a terrible thing to pump up the reserves a little bit as well.
Any other discussion points? Alright, so we don't need an executive session.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I like him.
All in favor?
That's Toby's job.
Oh, that's his job.
That's his,
Got
that's
it
his
down,
job.
got it down.
Thank you, Joe, for sitting in.
Well, thank you for getting an award, Steve, you long deserved.
How'd it go?